Aquifers, Aquitard, Aquiclude, Unconfined Aquifer. What are these terms? Today, we are going to discuss this. The Aquifers, Aquitard, Aquiclude, all these are different types of groundwater. To hold water in ground, there are different geological formations in ground. We classify the groundwater on basis of these geographical formations. The geographical formations can be soil or any kind of rock or a mix of these. So these geographical formations have different properties and can hold different amounts of water. So let's start by classification of different types of groundwater. So right now here you can see different layers of earth. We will discuss about each of these layers in detail. So you can see a house on the top. There are multiple layers. And do note this, that this is not an accurate 1:1 representation of any real life example. This is just for the purpose of illustration. Okay, so anyways, so let's start with aquifer. There are different types of aquifer which we'll be discussing in a moment. But first, let's start with understanding what an aquifer is. So an aquifer has the ability to contain water, to hold water, and also transmit water through it. An example for aquifer is sand or gravel. So here, you can see the top layer is made up of gravel or sand. This layer can transmit water through it easily. The aquifer shown here, which is unconfined aquifer, touches the groundwater level. So if you decide to dig up a well here, you will easily get water. The aquifer in this model touches the groundwater level. Now, our second term is Aquiclude. So to remember what is an Aquiclude, remember its spelling. Aquiclude. Clude start with C. And another thing that we can remember with C is clay. So clay and clude. Aquiclude is made up of material like clay. So what does it do? An Aquiclude has ability to hold water, but it cannot transmit water through it. It can soak water, it can take up water, but it will not transmit water. So it will block any movement of water. Examples for Aquiclude are clay and shale. Now let's move to the next term. Aquifuge. To remember what an aquifuge is, see its spelling. Its spelling has a letter F and U in it. So we know a curse word which starts with F and U. And we know that in a civilized conversation, we do not use any curse words. So just like we don't use any curse words in a civilized conversation, this aquifuge does not allow water to pass through it. So an aquifuge is a rocky, impenetrable material which does not allow water to pass through it, and it also doesn't hold any water. Examples of aquifuge are granite and basalt. Now our last term is aquitard. So remember the word tard. In physics, you must have seen some problems which says the car's retardation. So retardation means slowing down. So remember that. Similarly here, remember the word tard and it means slow transfer. So what it means here is that aquitard is a geological formation that allows partial movement of water. Aquitard is a mixture of sand and clay. And aquitard contains water, but it transmits water at a very slow rate. Hence the name Aquitard. So here you can see all the terms that we have discussed up until now. And now let's discuss about unconfined aquifer, confined aquifer, semi-confined aquifer. So these all are different types of aquifer. Let's start with unconfined aquifer. As the name suggests, it is unconfined. It is not bound. Here you can see at the top layer or the top geographical formation, this is an unconfined aquifer. An unconfined aquifer is an aquifer which is confined only at the bottom. The movement of water is not restricted at the top. But if you look at the bottom layer, there is another layer which restricts the flow of water. There is an aquitard which restricts the flow of water in the downwards direction. So here you can see the movement of water is allowed at the top and restricted at the bottom. Now let's move on to the next type, which is confined aquifer. As the name suggests, this aquifer is confined at top and bottom. Here, the movement of water is blocked from both sides. From top and bottom, the water is restricted to move in either direction. So in this example, you can see that there are two confined aquifers. This layer and this layer, both of them are confined aquifers. The lowermost layer here is an aquifuge, so it does not allow the transfer of water in the downwards direction. And the layer just above that is an aquitard, so it restricts the movement of water above it. So the portion sandwiched between them is confined. It cannot transfer water either to upwards direction or to the downwards direction. Now the situation is similar for the confined aquifer above it. the water cannot move down because of this Aquiclude level below it, and the water cannot move up because it is restricted by this layer, which is an Aquitard. So in this example, you can clearly see how these two confined aquifers are formed. Now, the third type of aquifer. This falls between confined aquifer and unconfined aquifer. That's why it's called semi-confined aquifer or leaky aquifer. Now, this is an aquifer which is bound by one or two aquitards. It holds water, but it also transfers water at a slow pace. So in this example here, you can see this layer is a semi-confined aquifer. It is trapped in between two aquitards, and as we know, aquitards allow slow movement of water. So here in this layer, water is trapped to some extent. The aquitard layers above and below it allow some of the water to pass through, but because these are aquitards, some of the water also stays behind. So we have covered different types of groundwater and different types of aquifers. So that's it for today. If you like this video, please smash the like button. If you want me to cover another topic, please let me know in the comment section. That's it for today, and thank you for watching.